Hi guys, welcome to a brand new video, and this week I just wanted to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of what I've been up to, what I've been doing creatively, and getting out for a walk as well. It was so nice. Last weekend was the first nice day that we've had here in the south of the UK in ages. And the sun was out, it was like a clear blue sky, and I couldn't help myself. I just needed to go and get out and have a really good walk. So I went down to the coast, and I just really felt the pull of the sea. I just wanted to go and see the sea, go and see the waves. It was actually quite choppy, so there were some quite big waves, but it was lovely to just be kind of stood up on the top. I went to Porthleven and stood on one of the top roads there and just kind of looked over the beach. It's really deceptive because it looks kind of quite calm, but I'm actually quite high up there and the waves were actually really big. But yeah, it's just so soothing. There's something so soothing to me about going to see the sea. I just find it so calming, and I think it's the fact that it's so vast, that massive expanse of water and being able to see right to the horizon. There's something so awe-inspiring about that. I just absolutely love it and I can't get enough of it. And I quite often find even just 10 minutes at the beach or by the sea can make the world of difference to my mindset as well. So that's definitely kind of something that I carry in my self-care toolkit, is knowing that sometimes I just need to go and see the sea, even just for a little bit, and it's sort of medicine to my brain. Just so soothing. So yeah, it was lovely. I just went for a walk by myself and it was quite nice to just have some alone time for a bit. I think it was about an hour's walk that I went on in the end, and I just felt so refreshed afterwards for it, kind of mentally really as well as like physically. But yeah, I absolutely love that. Just getting out in nature can just do the world of good. Whilst I was there as well, I did wander and have a look at the Wrecker's studio, which I've not been to in ages. So it's a local guy who, as you can see, lives almost next to the beach. And I think it's after every storm. He's done this for decades. He goes down and collects all the rubbish. And then brings it back, and he's got so many things from like fishing buoys, nets. There's even, I think that's the old lifeguard hut that used to be on the seafront there. But yeah, so many goodies, and he's kind of made weird sculptures and just filled his garden with it. But there's something really inspiring about seeing someone else's creativity and kind of craziness. So yeah, just really nice to have a little peek in there. As I was kind of wandering back to the car as well, I just kind of peeking into the hedgerows and just getting inspired. I think I'm always trying to be inspired by the world around me, and really trying to take note of especially things like leaves and flowers, things that I love to draw, and just really having a look at the form, the shapes, even like the scale of things, just looking at like veins on the leaves and which direction they go in. And I think in my mind, I think a leaf looks a specific way, whereas in real life, there's kind of such a variety. So yeah, really, really love doing that. And even just looking at like the speckles on the leaves, where they're sort of diseased or dying, or that imperfect, organic look to them. I just find it fascinating to see these sort of patterns that are appearing that almost shouldn't be there, but they make it more beautiful. And those are the details I love adding to my vine drawings. So after such an inspiring little wander about, I went home, got my sketchbook out. Obviously, this is the spread that you'll have seen previously if you've watched my last kind of voiceover video. I think it was my mental health video actually. But yeah, I was so inspired by that to keep going with colour and working in colour, because I've been doing so many black and white drawings recently, that I decided I would scribble on the page. It looked a horrible mess to start with. And then I drew just like, you know, some just rough motifs really over the top with pencil. And then I went in on top of that with my gouache and painted them. And it was totally an experiment. I wasn't really expecting much from it. If anything, I was just trying out gouache and trying to get a bit more comfortable with it, a bit more confident with it, seeing kind of the coverage, what it's like, how much the background kind of peeks through as well, things like that. And I was pleasantly surprised. I just love working like this. I also use some of my coloured pencils as well. I think a lot of these are the Woomer pencils. What a brilliant set that's been. Along with some of my Holbeins, which are my old faithfuls. And yeah, just drew in lots of details over the top. Anywhere I wanted to add in shadow or an extra bit of colour or a little bit of detail, just adding in that pencil. And it's quite fun to layer up colour with pencils as well. So I'm really enjoying using these two mediums together. I think as well the gouache gives such a gorgeous kind of matte finish that it's really lovely to work on top of with a pencil. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm also pulling out my new fine brush, which I got from my recent art haul. And after experimenting a lot with different white pens, thank you so much to everybody who commented under that art haul video. I've honestly learned so much from you guys, and all your suggestions and tips are incredible. So I'm actually like purchasing a few more white pens to really kind of delve deeper into this and, I don't know, figure out which my favourite white pen is. But bearing all that in mind, I decided here to just try with my fine brush and some white gouache and see how much detail I could get with that. And I was really surprised. It's just, yeah, really beautiful. Really loved working like this. I actually just stuck a film on. So after going for my big long walk, I just went home, stuck on a film on my phone. So I was watching The Matrix and just sat there for like 2 hours and painted. And it was literally my perfect day. I just had so much fun. And it's really nice. Again, I think painting is one of those things that I'm learning I can just get lost in the process of. A lot like when I've just got my black fine line pen and I just, you know, mindfully or mindlessly just scribble and draw, and it's so meditative. I'm really finding that painting is a similar process for me. And again, the more kind of things I paint, the more the artwork calls to me as the more details it wants. So you're kind of having conversation with the page. This is really how I make work. I don't tend to have a plan as to what I want it to look like at the end. I just kind of, I don't know, draw something on the page, fill in the gaps where I feel like there needs to be something put in those gaps, and then I keep working into it. So that's how I've done these two spreads of then using colour. As you'll notice with this one, I've used this really bright, vibrant blue when I would usually kind of do a midnight sky background. And yeah, even that was such a revelation. It was so nice to push myself and try something different. And it was so surprising the results that I got. I'm just so proud of this piece, which at the end of it actually felt like a final piece of work. Whereas I'd gone into this and it was such a messy page that I didn't really care about the outcome. And yeah, because of that, it just took the pressure off. I let myself try new things that felt a bit scary, that felt different to me. And I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter. This is my experimental page. It doesn't matter if it goes wrong. And just having that mindset really helped me to push forward. And yeah, I can't believe the outcome that I got from it. So I'm really, really excited about where this is going to go. And I really feel like gouache is something I really want to get into a lot more. So yeah, really excited for March. I've decided this year, instead of doing the 100-day project, which I've done over the past couple of years actually. It is a long project, it's quite hard to stick to it, but I've decided this year I'm going to do 3 30-day projects instead. And I think that's a bit more manageable, and I quite like the idea of just for 1 month focusing on one specific thing, and then when I've got different ideas or something else or maybe another project, I can work on that for the next 30 days. So I had already kind of planned to do some lino printing at some point this year, especially after January, where I'd really enjoyed just doing my black and white drawings. And the more I looked at that sketchbook, the more it feels like those sketches kind of lean into becoming lino prints. So it's definitely something I want to play around with. So maybe that will be April's plan or goal. But for March, I really want to delve more into my gouache painting. I'm so inspired by all this work that I've been doing here and this couple of spreads that have come out of this. I'm so proud of them. I really want to start working in more gouache. So flipping over the page, and this is a mandala orb that I'd started a couple of weeks ago maybe. And again, I just kind of splurged down colour. This was after I'd really missed working in colour during January, and I really just felt the call to just splatter some stuff on the page. Again, trying not to worry too much about the outcome or what it needed to look like. And I think I layered some things up. So I think I did start off with some kind of more watery watercolour type washes, and then I built up the colour of the gouache. So again, it's that more opaque paint over the top, and then letting bits dry and then working into it again. I did paint out, as you can see, those 2 kind of vine shaped leaves that spiral out of it, as well as the kind of 3 leaves as well. So I quite like this sort of pulling colour out into kind of the outer motifs, and then combining it with the black and white. I think there's something really nice about that. When I first started doing this page, I had almost planned to colour in the black and white drawings. So going back to my coloured pencils, I'd really enjoyed that tiger drawing that I did, and thinking about why don't I then colour in everything and do that with my coloured pencils. But actually, as it stands, I've just left it as this combination of the gouache painted vines with my then hand-drawn black and white motifs. And yeah, for me, this is just like my signature style. I just love working like this. I love doing my mandala orbs. It's something I've been doing for years and years. It's something I find so meditative, and it's very repetitive as well. And I think that's why it's kind of this meditation for me, is that drawing leaves over and over, I know what I'm doing. I don't have to overthink it. I can just enjoy the process, and it's just so fun. I absolutely love it, and because of that, I'm almost addicted to it. I just want to make more and more of these. So it was really nice as well. I was working in my Pif Oro Blanco sketchbook, so that's the largest one that they do. I think it's slightly bigger than an A4, so when it opens out then it's slightly bigger than A3, and it's such a lovely size to work in, especially for this. So I'm also finding that I keep wanting to go bigger and bigger when it comes to my mandala orbs. So that's really interesting, and it kind of in the back of my mind for work that I want to do this year. I think I need to challenge myself with scale as well. I think it's really fun to play around with that, to sort of work in maybe a really small sketchbook. I find that I can fill a small sketchbook really quickly. But then, yeah, working larger is something that's pushing me out of my comfort zone. So really interesting. Yeah, you can see here I've been watching some Bai Bun vlogs. So she's one of my favourite YouTubers that I just love. I've watched her for about 8 years. She's just, yeah, based in LA, so very different from my life here in England. But yeah, just so inspiring to watch other artists. That's what I love about YouTube as well, is this amazing online community, and instead of feeling very alone in my little bubble here at home, I really feel like I'm surrounded by other artists. And quite often that's what I'll do whilst I'm sat drawing like this. I've either got a film on, like I said earlier, or I'm watching vlogs from other artists or creatives whilst they're in their studio and they're making things or packing orders or chatting about creative stuff. So I find that really comforting. And I think it reminds me actually of being at uni. When I was in the design centre at Falmouth, we had kind of open plan space where I think there's about 30 of us on our course, and we've all got a studio space together. And it's really nice because even though there's not any set time that we had to be in, whilst you are in, there's other people in the studio, but you've got your own desk, your own space. We had like our mood boards that we'd stick up on our walls as well. So yeah, just really inspiring environment. And I think that's sometimes something that I really miss, or I feel like I'm lacking, or I wonder what I'm doing when I'm just sat in my own little bubble at home. So yeah, again, this is why like YouTube is just an amazing community to me. So as you can see here, I've pretty much finished, I think, all of the sketching here, and I love it. I love working on these. Definitely want to do obviously more of these, but I would love to do a larger size. I'm wondering about doing a zine or something like that, or some prints, or even, I don't know, maybe I should do a 30-day of actually doing mandala orbs and selling the originals. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If you could, let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular that you like. But yeah, I would love to start doing some zines of my work as well, to just it's just an easy, affordable way to collect the work that I'm doing. I think it'll be quite fun to do. And I've got so many mandala orbs already that I could pull that together. Anyway, that's a thought for another day. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. I hope you found it inspiring. I can't wait to make some more art and share my process with you. So I will see you very soon for another video. Lots of love. Bye.